What's up? It's Justin Omoe, and here is the full vlog video series. 16 different videos I had on my artist channel, but it was unlisted, so not many people seen it. So I combined it all, and I literally edit the video. It was 5 hours total. Now it's 2 hours and whatever you see right now, 2.5. If you don't want to see the final result, but instead want to see the process of me building it, just go ahead and skip to the first chapter right now. But this is the vocal booth here for those who've never seen this before. Let me take you into it. So this is the inside of my vocal booth, and you can see two little puck lights. If I turn this off, there you go. But we need lights, so let's turn it on. I'm gonna go ahead and close this door. It got squeaky. I could probably put some WD. We have acoustic foam treatment, something I don't show during the build because I didn't get it in time, I guess. I don't know. Foam on the ceiling. I have a couple that came off, but I'll glue them right back on. Here's a computer monitor to see everything. I would use a wireless mouse when I come in here to record. Of course, the microphone, Neumann, and then a JZ pop filter. Shout out to them for sending that. And here's my iPhone, which could record 4K, so look to the future for that. I did remove this monitor and bring it lower, so I do have to patch this, but it's not really a major concern. Just spray it and then tap it up and that'll fix easy. Here's the ventilation fan to push air out. Here's the control panel to control the air. And down here is the air that comes into the booth. The cold air from the bottom, heat rises, it pushes out. And the little accessory hole, HDMI, XLR cables, USBs, you name it. And here's the external. I have foam on the corners and I have a couple of pads here. This is actually acoustic panel. So essentially, while I'm here and I'm making the beat, I'm done with the beat and I gotta get into recording, I'll just get up, walk into the booth, control everything over there, and done set. The only thing the booth would need is, instead of the 1080p monitor, a 4K monitor, because it looks blurry because this is 4K I set it on. So yes, let's go ahead and jump right into this, see how I made the booth from the ground up. Make sure you have popcorn because, like I said, it's a long video series. And if you watch it throughout the end, I really appreciate you for that. Yo, guys and girls, how are y'all doing today? For those who haven't watched my last video talking about my goals, one of the goals that I want to do in here in this room is to create a microphone recording section. So this is my room. Let's do a quick 2021 dirty floor tour. This is just my stuff where I keep my manga books, a couple electronics like amp. We have this corner gap space. This is enough for the closet to reach there. This is where I originally recorded my stuff, and it'll open. And look at that. Perfect. It didn't even bank because it's headphones. Thank you, headphones. And then this is one of the areas where I could record. I would just put like a jacket behind and it'll sound all cool. But I would also put it right here. And there was a piece of sponge. Oh, right here. This I had hanging up on the closet door via paper clip. On this side I have a dresser. This has all the cabling and other music stuff. And this is the area that I want to adjust or move out the way in order to create a recording booth space, or a little box for me to isolate myself and record freely. When you want to record or create a building space for music stuff, you always follow some sort of ratio. In this case, for the recording or the room, they want it to be a 1. Height, width is going to be 1.6 and the length would be 1.25. We only have a specific limitation. So the best we can really do is about 4 feet, which is this much right here. Give or take, you want to give like at least an inch off for like the space between the wall. This is 4 right here. Over here, 5 right here. That's a cool number too. But ideally, I want like 4 by 6. Right there, 4 by 6 foot. This is where the issue comes in. Give or take, you give an inch off the wall. 6 foot is where I'm standing. Now look where I'm standing. So I'm not sure if y'all noticed the issue, but if you cannot see the issue. So my main struggle is finding the right type of dimension that I could use in order to record. For height, I was good with 6.5 up and down. I'm 5'9", and I'm pretty content where 6.5 would be. Obviously, that'll be. But for a height of 6'5", you would need to have a length of at least 8.9 or 9 feet there. and the width of 7.3. And like I mentioned just now, we don't really got space like that. I'm thinking, why not just do a 2 foot, 4 foot, and just call it a day there, right? Yeah, some of them got 4x4, 4x6, 6x4, 6x6. So I think if I want to be at the most compact, I guess 4'4" is gonna have to do for me. As far as the dresser that's in the way, that's the big elephant in the room, ain't it? Unless it's me. Hey, I think by the end of this video, I'm gonna do at least that. That's what I'm doing right here. I'm just emptying out that dresser, the top piece, the glass, just removing everything first and foremost, putting it aside. I didn't show you moving out the big glass because too much work. And there. Okay, so here it is. This is the only spot it'll fit in this room here, this corner. Because over here, you can see we got the cat stuff, got the computer table. And all that's left is just to bring down the bed. It works this way. I could put it that way as well. I'm pretty sure you guys and girls could hear this, but when I talk, it's bouncing off the walls even more. It does kill off my dynamics. It does throw off my stuff. But this is where the Focal Clear Pro headphones comes in handy. It's pretty much the loudspeakers in your ears. But in any case, I'm gonna have that area like padded up or treated to the point where, recording in that little space is gonna be worth it. Visually looking from here, it looks so small, but when you stand in that spot, when I stand in that spot, it looks very doable. It's just a room. It's gonna have the monitor. It's gonna have the mouse for me to click on to, this and that. Either the monitor or I'm gonna have a window on the side and just look at the big TV and be like, okay, this is what I do, this is what I do, okay, cool. And then, do my work there. And obviously the microphone. I don't think I'm going to need ventilation. I'm just gonna go in there, do my thing, come out. But if I do need ventilation, I'll probably install it in one of the sides. So I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit more, just in case. So it looks like that problem that I had is, it's workable, it's fix-aroundable. Today, I want to talk to y'all about the framing or the dimensions of this build that I have in mind for the recording booth. I said I wanted this thing to be around 4 feet to make it nice and compact. Well, it turns out the inside of the walls will be 4 feet and 4 feet. And it'll be 7 feet high. It'll probably be a little bit higher than 7 feet, we gonna see. All in all, the inside walls are gonna be 4 feet, so I have to make the outsides a little bit thicker. So it's gonna be 60 inches in the end. And actually, I'll show you right here. So we have a top view. This is gonna be literally what you see when you look down and x-ray vision. But this is it. This is the 4 walls right here. And you can see one side is longer than the next. If we take a better look, it'll be 50. And the other two are gonna be 58. So you can see once I add in the drywall, we can see here that we have a internal dimension of 48 inches. This floor panel, I'm not sure if this is a final design of it. This is just looking from the top down perspective yet again, but you can see I have some studs along there and 1, 2, 3, 4 beams, and then we have support pieces to keep that bottom content. I guess that's when I, stand on it. I don't want to fall through. But here's the meat and bones that we all want to see, right? So I have the 4 walls. Interior front, the back, and then we have the left and right wall. Let's start with the back wall since there's nothing really much going on there. The back and front walls are going to be the 50 inches in length. That's the shorter sides of the walls. In this, we have the support beams. They're called studs as well, and then all that shit. Nothing going on in the back of the wall because honestly there's nothing going to be showing in the back of the wall. It's just the back of the wall. This back of the wall is going to be facing the Mega Man wall, so that's the same wall where the TV is. That's the back. The front is going to be literally the front piece, the door. That's as soon as I open the door in my room, that's the door. You'll see the door right in front, so opposite of back. Think about that. I had to put some support beams and all that right here as well as on the sides to have the door knob, the door lock piece have somewhere to go. And then I had to put some supports here as well to, hold the thing up. The door, I'm thinking is gonna be 72 inches tall. If I gotta make it shorter, then I can always edit it. And I'll have to custom build the door as well to, keep it insulated. And the last two right here, we have the interior left and right. Left side is gonna be facing the wall yet again, so that's the other wall. Nothing going on there in that sense. On the right side, we got a little bit more complex looking thing right here, don't we? We have 1, 2, 3 different studs, support beams, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things there. Why do I have this 24 in there? That's where I want to put a piece of glass in hopes to see out the window or have people see me in there just in case something happens. But more importantly, if I don't want to put a monitor screen in there, which would build up heat as well as take up electricity, I guess, I want to make this little window a window space for me to look into the big TV and be like, okay, this is what I do. I click there, I edit, you know, being a little frugal with my stuff. That's gonna be laminated glass. Tempered glass, I guess they call it. I don't know. We're just gonna make sure it's soundproof as well as acoustically treated. That's the framing there. I think I'm gonna have to add a little bit more wood, but before I had 23 pieces of wood, plywood, totaling that up to around 125 on Home Depot. But I checked it out the next day and the price went up for some reason. I don't know if I got something extra in the cart. So that went up to like 140 or something. And I'm sure I'm gonna need a little bit more wood. So I'm thinking around $180 at most for all the framings, the studs. That's all that you see here. It's just literally 2x4s by X height. So I'm gonna say like 30 pieces of wood. Yeah, you can see 149 for 26 pieces of wood. Okay, I type 30. Okay, so yeah, I was right on the ball there. 180, around 180. Then I'll also have to add in screws. Push come shove, we're gonna be spending around $200 to get everything in settled. And I'm saying we because I'm gonna have my cousin come through and help me out when it comes to picking up the material. Now, when it comes to money, how well am I doing right now? In my own personal bank, I have $600, but today is the 7th, so I am going to be minusing $220 because of my headphones. So I went a little bit down in the dumps there. On PayPal, though, I did make $100 the other night. That took me 25 minutes to do. Pretty cool. On PayPal, though, I have $295, so that could kind of cover up all the costs here for the frames. But just keep in mind, you know, I'm going to get that YouTube check. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get around $800 there. And then somebody told me that around the end of January they're gonna send 10 songs from me to mix and master. I gave them a cut deal price, so it's not $1,750 I'll make, it's more of $1,570 I'll be making there. So I'm content that I'll have the money. I just don't know if I should spend it right now. Yo, what is up, guys and girls of YouTube? I just went with my cousin. Shout out to you, Ray. Thank you so much. We went to Home Depot, literally picked up the wood, dropped it off here. So it's in my garage. If you want to look at it here. Oh yeah, I also got the pocket jig thing. So yeah, tools, you know what I'm saying, and screws. So the wood and screws came up to $216, and then let me just check the order I did for the jig. And the pocket hole jig system set up with the clamp and the screws came up to $76. So it came up to around $292. So already $300 spent on this booth build so far. Yeah, just a little ballpark of what you've seen so far. Before I get to cut any wood or do anything like that, I have to do two things. First thing, I gotta fix this chalk line because it's stuck. There we go. We got a little old fender right off the spot. Yeah, you can see it right there. This big knot. We do not need that. So I'm just gonna break it out. So here's the plywood. It is 29 pieces. So the goal right now is to mark 17 of these for 80 inches long, or that way long. So I'm gonna have to bring that over there to the other side, and yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to level these, square them off, put the chalk, cut, yeah. So I got my line up now, so all I gotta do is take this saw and just right through it. Now I'm not sure if I should be doing all 17 myself, like, you know, at one time, or if I should do it one at a time. But shit, I got a piece of test wood. Just want to make sure I know what I'm doing first before I do something and screw up. This should be live. What I'm gonna do is put my foot on it, hold this, I think I could do something. Oh, I'm so scared. All right, let me do it on one. Something happened. It didn't cut through all the way. I'm not sure what the hell that was about. What the hell? And this does not look straight to me. But it is what it is. Okay, well, that's one way to do it. Okay, I was just able to cut this piece of wood real clean, but I'm definitely gonna go the wussy way out and just cut one at a time. But take a look at this cut. I'm not even sure if this is supposed to happen, but you see you got little sticks out there. It's gone though. Line it up right there. So I just cut all 17 of them. Some gave me trouble, but others just whoop right through easily. I don't understand. Now I gotta cut 4 pieces for 50 inches. I need to cut 4 more pieces for 58. And then the rest of the cuts are gonna be from the leftover cut pieces. So yeah, let me go ahead and do all that now, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. So I just finished all the initial cuts, which is all the main cuts, which is all this on the right side. I don't know if you can see with my fat ass in the way. But these. Now the right side has the leftover wood that I do have to cut more, so I'm gonna be making a lot more cuts. I need a 28, I need a 24, I need an 18, I need 4 14s, I need 2 13s, 4 12s, and 1 8, 2 more 18s, and 2 12s. Okay, so this is how all my cuts look. These are all the woods that's gonna be used for the framing, and these over here are leftover. So yeah, one thing I didn't mention is these are all for the 4 walls as well as the bottom panel. So I never did a ceiling piece yet, and I don't know how I'm gonna do the ceiling, if I'm gonna make it like a fit in or something. I'm gonna have to figure that out. What's up, guys and girls? Your boy Justin Omoe here with the thing. I'm always packing. But as you can see behind me, the wood that I cut from the last video, today I'm gonna be marking out framing. So essentially we're just building the frames now. One thing I didn't tell you guys and girls, I feel like I put in the comments, if not then oops, is the bottom floor panel. You may notice I have the corners around there. It's set at 2 inches, but I'm supposed to have 4, so I'm actually supposed to have an extra layer of wood there. So I don't know how this is gonna work out. So I'll have to like double check that before I commit to it. And first, you know, because of that, I'm gonna build these sides first, the 4 walls. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, by the way, if you want to support your boy. And if you want to hit me up for the mastering, literally one mix and master job, $300 is gonna cover everything that I bought thus far. So first one we're gonna do is the back wall. That's gonna be 4 vertical studs, so 4 of these, 2 50s, an 18, and 2 12s. So let me do that first, collect the wood. There's a big old bullet in between. Get my, oh, I forgot my 50s, didn't I? 250. Anyways, with the 250s, I am first gonna mark my studs. So I'm gonna take my phone, find the readings, and, you know, draw a line on them. So this way I won't have to play the guessing game once, you know, one is on the ceiling, one's on the floor. Be like, oh crap, where's straight? There. So that's my stud, my first one. That's my second one. So the next one is gonna be after 12 inches this way, a line, 2-inch line. So 12. Oh shit, man. Just like that. After that, we're going 18, which honestly I could just do 12 this way. Hold on, did I screw up? Yeah, see, I already screwed up. See, it's good to double think this shit, because there's 2 here, so we gotta compensate. So it's 14 actually. So yeah, see, I almost screwed up. Okay. So that'll teach me, right? Which, by the way, this stud is not actually 2 inches, so I kind of screwed up there, didn't I? That's where I'm gonna actually do it this way, because screw it. Yeah, this one is 1.5, isn't it? If I had a number 1 pencil, I think this would have been easier on me. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4 studs. And then the middle shit we'll figure out. We'll guess that part, honestly. It won't be too bad though, because once we get the 4 frames, we're gonna see it then. I'll actually use a pocket jig on that one. How about that? By the way, these are the screws. I don't know if I showed you, but they're 3 inches. Let's do our first ever screwing. Where's my drill bits? Where are the drill bits? Lamb sauce! Alright, I guess I will take it outside, wouldn't I? I made this thing yesterday. I was just testing out wood with the pocket hole. It kind of makes a right angle here, doesn't it? That's what I'm gonna do. If I had a clamp, now would be the best time to use it. But I don't have one, so screw it. Pun intended. I want to see if this splits wood. So it looks good. I screwed up my angle. Wow, it went down so deep that the screw is gone. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Alright, elbow grease. Yes. Like you gotta drive it in a little bit more. So, we did our first piece. I don't feel so sad or so scared. And if I do need to bump something to like make it straight perfect, I'll just take the hammer and knock it. So yeah. Phone call, phone call. That was my grandmama. There. I'll leave it there. Not too in, but like it's in there, but not like deep in there. So I'm kind of wondering if this is what that crowning thing was that I was supposed to be looking at. So it's creating a gap here, but I'm sure once we screw it in, it should be all right, right? Oh yeah, that screws in there, boy. So it didn't close it all the way, and it's actually sticking out. This is why I got Mr. Hammer. All right, well, I need a redo of this side. So this is better down here for sure. For some reason that's not going in now. Oh yeah, I stripped that screw, buddy. Well, the only thing I guess to do now is to like shove it in. But you can see we actually built our first frame. That's cool. So the next thing to do is these sides or the middle pieces here. What I'm gonna do is just kind of get a good eyeball on it. Actually, what else I could do is just put the damn piece right here. Yeah, that's smart thinking, ain't it, huh? Yeah, see? Smart ass. This is if you give an idiot a piece of hardware. And you can see it's kind of like not giving me what I want, so. Ugh, you bitch! Damn, son. This is weird because there's not straight, like, this is 12, but it's not enough. You understand me? That side needs a little bit more hitting. And this is 18. There is a huge gap in here. There's a huge gap. Maybe I shouldn't have cut all the frames first, shouldn't I? I got a lot of wood though, if anything. Yeah, my shit is way off the line. It's in the line, but it's not like in the middle. Well, we actually did our first vertical beam frame. Period. So on the picture, it shows that I have like some odd up, some odd down. I never measured it, so I actually should either A, go into the computer, get the dimension for that, or B, just guess the shit out of it. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go on the computer. Alright guys, after I measured, from this corner piece up is 28, so I do have to add more, 2 more. So we're getting 30 for this piece, for the stud, and then we're gonna measure 24 up and then add the 18. Well, if I could add the 18, that's the first problem there. And then I'm gonna put 32 plus 24. That's 6, right? 46. Wait, 30, 40, 56. That's all we need. Now we just gotta follow suit and we're done. And you can see that there's even a gap here, which is kind of annoying. But it is what it is. Welcome,
Are we make your house?
Yeah, it's my little recording house.
Thank buy you enough for bill. Don't let me take to him. Little brother come home, lay on YouTube and help you out.
Oh, it worked. Look at that, we got a little supporting piece. I forget the name of this. Alright. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to need to add extra because there is that gap that I mentioned. Oh, hell yeah, I'm definitely going to add that extra. It looks like I'm going to have to use that pocket jig after all. Here, see? See, it is on the 18 mark. It's around a little bit behind the 18. But nevertheless, it was still 18. So it goes to show that you need a little bit more sense when it comes to marking dimension. 2x4 is not actually 2x4. Look at this, you can tell this is not straight. So I'm not recommending anything that I do here. That said, if something breaks on my end, that's on me. Slide in, pinchy pinch. This is such a weird clamp. Damn, my battery's finna die, I gotta hurry up. I'm gonna squeeze here, I'm gonna drill. Okay. So, it doesn't look like I need to hold that grip actually. Okay, I lied. What's up, my jigger? So these are 2.5 screws. All right, now we got a clamp on that, buddy. I'm still gonna be using some force though. So here's my long bit, because you gotta go up in there. That's scary. It's in there. Okay. Actually, I could just put my hand right here. Okay, I'm not gonna overdo it. Oh man, I forgot to put wood glue in the middle. Damn it. Whatever, man. Oh, we're good. Here we go, we're good. Final thing. Oh yes. This is so awesome. So that was the first side. That was actually the back side of the booth itself. Thank gosh I had those spare parts and, you know, it kind of worked out for me. So what I want to do is do the rest of them out and then I'll show you afterwards. Hopefully my battery will be charged by then and I'll just show it off to you. I'll actually bring these pieces into the room. Alright guys, well this is the 4 wall frames completed and I did have to actually go back to the first frame that I did because it was sticking out. If this was, yeah, some pieces were just not, I guess the word is either square or plumb. I had to unscrew some of them. It was a nightmare. And I actually only got one boo-boo throughout the whole process. That was being today. Like the actual framing, I had perfect, like no boo-boos. No boo-boo at all. But just that one screw I was trying to take out, boo-boo. No bloodshed, no work. Bed. So this is the front here, the door. So as soon as I open this door here, the main door, I'm gonna see this in front of me. And then I would have to take the knob, open it up, walk in like San Andreas, and I'll be inside. So as I said before, this is 72 inches, the door. At least that's what I'm thinking. I'm 5'9", so maybe we could get a little bit of understanding here. This one I had to make sure it was right. You know, I had to make sure this thing was just straight, square. So this one right here is actually the right side. That's gonna be right here, facing the studio table. Now, I did not put one piece here. And this is actually flipped around if I'm not mistaken. So I have to flip it around to fix it. But there's supposed to be 2 12s right here. I didn't put that in just yet. I'm gonna wait for my cousin to come through and take a look and think. Because I'm not sure if I do want to put a glass in the box. I feel like adding a piece of glass is gonna be a little bit more on, you know, resources, and right now your boy's not really holding up enough funds. And the last one is literally the one that's gonna face that wall there. Hey, maybe I could like attach a computer screen there. That is the 4 walls, guys and girls. We did progress, and I honestly am surprising myself because I didn't think that I'd be able to, you know, get to this point in a matter of like 2 days. Getting the wood, cutting the wood, putting it here. So if there's anything to take out of this, one, I'm not an expert. I make mistakes. As long as you commit to something, you're gonna actually be able to either fail or succeed. But if you don't do anything, you're gonna always fail, or you're never gonna have it done in the first place. Guys, girls, what's up? I know it's not the best light, sorry. Pretty much, I bought the other night rubber puck joist. It's like U-shaped pieces of rubber, and it has to go on the concrete floor, not the carpet. So that's my next step. Pretty much like pull out the carpet, yank out the tacks that holds the carpet, vacuum sweep. All right, guys, so I got more material here. As you see, this is, I think it's 13 studs that I bought. I just bought a little bit more because, you know, screw-ups happen. Over here we got a piece of OSB board, and these things are definitely heavy. I only got one because that's probably all I'll need. Here's the last thing, which, so it's one pack of this for now. Is 12 bats, so basically 12 pieces of the Rockwool insulation. More specifically, when I build that floor joist that you see right there, or maybe it'll change, the insulation will go in between of that, causing a sound seal on the bottom from, you know, sounds on the floor. You got the mole people. And of course I gotta have some screws that'll go with the connection of the OSB. Coarse threaded screws. That means it'll latch on and hold on. You don't want screws that are like fine, which will break after you put a lot of weight or whatever, and then you get that squeaky sound. And you don't want nails, because nails, like the drywall, I don't know if you noticed, this is an old house or older house. Yeah, the nails actually vibrate out once you have things like storms and whatever, but nails tend to lose its grip, especially if you're hanging like that. I'd say I'm gonna do the drywall in this garage once I'm complete and set with my money. I also have caulking, a caulking tube with this. My cousin, he said use caulking rather than liquid nails. I chose this over liquid nails because he said the liquid nails it'll have a good bond, but it will dry out over time. It'll like get brittle. That's what he said. So hopefully with this PL400 and with the temperature in that room, I guess, it won't really get brittle and break out. But even then, we got the screws that'll hold it good. More protection for your boy. By the way, the boards that I cut on the frames, apparently some of them weren't straight. So I got this little straight edge. Hopefully it can help me out. All right, guys. I don't think I showed the part where I create the frame, because that was just tripping my mind out the whole time. Because this was like one of the parts I was like, oh, what the hell? Why is this not even? Why is this not the same number? And it was just a little mind confusing to me, but in the end I got it right. And by right, I mean one side is an inch less. From here to there, got 58 inches. But from here to over there, this is 57. So yeah. Now, how I came up with this number though is actually the 58 side, the one that's 58, that's gonna be the left and right of my walls. The 57 is gonna be my door side and the back side. 2x4 is not actually 2x4. This 2x4's 4 side is actually 3.5. I'm putting the 50 right here, right? So here's the 50, and then these sides are gonna be attached on the side of the 50s. That's the 4s on each side, but that's 3.5. So 50 plus 3.5 plus 3.5 is actually 57. So that's why I'm building the floor joist at 57. And this way it's 58 because the left and right is actually 58 on the length of the wall. Actually, one side of the wall is 57.25 or something like that. I don't know what the hell happened there. If anything, I'll just trim the 58 into 57.25 and then go from there. What I have to do next though right now is the whole joist spanning. So to do this, I'm gonna be putting it on the side that is longer, the attached side, because that's what I saw in pictures, and it's gonna be vertical. Duh. Well, what I want to do is use just 3 pieces of wood, span them out evenly, and then screw them in. 13.25 inches apart. So it's even. I think that's all that matters. So the next thing to do would be to just chop off the wood. So all I got to do now is just take the saw, hold one side, and I could just push along this speed square, and it'll give me a straight line. So this damn saw never cuts straight. So it looks like I do want to put a little bit pressure or put on the other side to make it better, but it did cut through almost all the way. Yes, it is a straight line. There we go. Straight. Oh my goodness. That is straight. Oh, fucking wasp! Get the fuck away, man. Here we go. This right. Right where I got a screw on, there is a big, you know that little ring? There's a big piece of that ring right there where I got a screw. So I'm trying to screw a little bit under. It's 15 and a half. This is 15. So I'm like half an inch off over here. Cool. We built the floor joist. Alright, I think this is where I'm going to stop for now because right now I have a lot of questions in my head. Do I need those support pieces left and right? I don't think it's an issue if I, put them in. It wouldn't be a problem because, hey, more support, right? And then I got to figure out the OSB. So, this, as you can see right here, I kind of line it up with the end there. But this side here is nowhere near compensation for the top. So I am going to have like a piece of end here. So I really got to think this one through as well. Where do you think you're going, mister? What is up, guys? I know you can't see me that well. I'm sorry. Lighting's not the best around here anyways. You can see these little clips. This is the rubber isolation clips. I had this before I got the material for the wood. Forgot to mention that in the last video, but I tried to cut a lot of corners. They say the spaces at least 12 to 24 inches apart. Guess what? We're doing 12. And I wanted to make sure, first of all, before I install anything in the middle, which honestly I should anyways, to see if this will cover up everything on the board. I got a pack of 50 for like $100 something. And yes, they do. At least for what my head and math could tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips. I'm putting one on the end for safe measure. So this one's 10 inches apart. This one's 12, this one's 12, and this one again is about 10 inches apart. So we have 5 up here, times 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 25 clips, halfway done. But over here, we only need 4. So 4, 8, 25. So 28 plus 5, 33. So it looks like we do have some spares to work with. Meaning, if I do put the things in the middle, which I will do, I'll be able to do it without any issues. So that's my next mission, is putting in those 2x4s in the middle. Before I have to do that though, I have to make sure that it's all perfectly square and straight and good and plumb and all those other good words. Just see the bubbles? So these bubbles have to hit in the middle. This one is the left and the right tilt of the wood. This one in the middle, which, damn, it's so hard to get a visual on this, huh? There you go. When this is in the middle area, that means it's balanced, like this type and balanced. So the one on the other side was like this type. This one is higher or lower, like that. Yeah. And this side is the same thing, but just on the other side. So what I do is just pretty much put it on both sides here. And this thing's a little wobbly. You can see that these are just pretty much in the line there. And I did it for all these right here. So I'm just showing you for confirmation. Also, if my cousin says, hey man, you're supposed to make this level. Look, everything's there. Everything's dotted. Everything's in the middle. And I'm just making sure this is super perfect for now because this is literally the floor. After I do what I have to do with the floor, I can't really trouble it again. So yeah, just showing you. Then this bottom one, I can't do yet. But you can see it's just like tilted. And a little bit off. Same thing here, tilted. So I have to deal with this once I'm done with the top, and I'll show you what I mean by the top. You can see this one's perfect. This one's just almost there, and that one's perfect. So yeah. So here's the top piece right here, and you can see the tilt is right for that. The bubble is right there in the middle, almost a little bit off. And same thing here on this side. You can see that's in the middle. On this side, it's really weird. You can see the tilt is kind of screwy. I'm guessing this piece of wood is just warped. I don't know. I'm going to put my hand down on it. Oh, you can see it's almost there. This one's right in the middle. And this one is really weird. I guess I'm going to have to hammer and hit it up a little bit more. It's just like a little bit. After I straighten this piece of wood, left with this big old gap. And I'm afraid because this is like the factory side. And look, it's not even straight. So my guess is that I didn't cut the piece of wood straight on the other side. So on this side here, so what I am gonna do is just cut off this side here, either with the saw blade or hand cut it myself, because this is crazy. Chopping this thing. Okay, I got it. Just kind of sanding it out. just to get these little annoying points out of here. I'm pretty sure once I put in the support brackets, it should be good. Just like a quarter of an inch off. So the next thing I gotta do now is find small pieces that fit from the scrap woods, cut them for them. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Alright guys, I'm finally giving you a little bit of a close-up here, but this is just to show you the staggering method I'm doing. And I don't know how it's done, I'm just doing it based on my brain here. Measured half of this whole thing, which is half of 57, 28 and a half. Then I marked the middle of this stud, which is 6/8. Then I drew straight lines at the straight edge, this, you know, straights. And then after that, I'm first putting this piece, half of the half in this side. Then the next piece, I hope you can see this over here. This side is gonna be like, you know, straight off of this one. So if I were to make a line, how the hell do I do this? So now this line is gonna be the new one here. So it's kind of like edge to edge. This way we could screw in both sides evenly. The cool thing was I didn't have to cut any wood. Only this one on the end, I had to like sand it down by like 1/8 of an inch. Can't use the long bit here because I barely got room. Finally, shit. I'm gonna stand this thing up and make sure they're leveled before I commit to the next screw. We got our floor joist built, and it had the staggered blocking. So now we got to deal with the OSB, and that part is, I have no idea. I feel like if I mess up once, I'm screwed, so. Alright, so I think I figured out what I have to do here for the OSB. Pretty much, this is good right here, this section. Cut up to half of this right here, so 28 and, well, yeah, about 28 and a half, if not a little bit more than 28, just to be safe. That way I'll be able to have secure connection and be good. So yeah, now I just gotta mark it up and somehow cut it. It's always the problem there. I gotta be very, very careful with this side. All I gotta do is cut along the line.
That line there?
Oh yeah. Must not been straight, but that's okay. It's definitely not straight. Let's just focus on the 28 and a half first. Okay, that's one. Here we go. Here's our piece. Alright, I'm gonna do the last one off camera because the battery's right about to die. I want to wait and get a cloth so I could just put a cloth around here and staple it. Just to be safe. Because I got cats. I don't want them breathing this stuff. So yeah, now I just gotta find a way to get a big cloth. Maybe Walmart got them, I don't know. And then just buy that, get a staple gun, just... But yesterday, I got this on Sunday, the staple gun. I got this cloth. This is actually a cloth that you put over tables at parties or something like that. And I also got a box cutter. I know, right? Like, finally, I got a razor blade. So I can actually cut these carpets clean. But also to cut the tablecloth. So what I want to do today is pretty much put the cloth over this thing while it's upside down. Take off the rubbers, put the rubbers over it, see how it works. If it works out, I'll staple it afterwards. And then from there, I'm gonna have to bring the rock wool from the garage because I opened the whole container so it can air out. But I'm gonna have to bring it from the garage, place them in, and cut them to size. Take the excess rock wool outside, then I'll vacuum the floor, and then we'll do the OSB. Hopefully everything goes nice. By the way, if you want to show some support, hit that thumbs up. If you make music and want to get your songs mastered, hit me up at JustinOmoe.com. Now, I'm gonna take this, and this should overlap it. It was like 8x8 or something, 6x6. These are one of those square kind of like, you know, bed sheet kind of covers. You can see here, I'm able to get coverage. So, first time using these staples. There's 2 boxes. I'm gonna use the bigger box because it's bigger. Can't even see with the shitty angles. Okay, I stapled the shit out of it, and now I realized I made an error. So, yeah. Whoopsies. So it could go, but I need to like literally cut incisions in all these spots now. But turns out I did it all. And I'm not really trying to look back and hope back. There was one part kind of screwed up here. You can probably see the big old gap. And this side, but I feel like this will do a good job even though. So my next step is to put this back down. I hope I know which way I'm supposed to put it. So it is looking good. I will have to just pull off these pieces when the time comes. But I could pretty much drop the insulation in there next. I think I should, before I do anything, just give it a little bit more room. Let me just show you what I mean. Because once I, you know, build the wall or put the wall up, I'm gonna put the drywall. It's not gonna be enough for the plugs. So I will have to like cut a lot more space from the carpet down. First, I need to make my cat disappear from my room. And the second one is bring in the sheets and put them in. But I need you to go home. He smells like sunlight. 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 Taking a look at it, we do have some remainder on the side. And this stuff cuts pretty easily. Cool. So I just cut a little nick there. And I'm just gonna fit that in there like this. And from there I'm just gonna cut. Stuff cuts pretty dang easy. Easier than cutting a piece of bread, I'm gonna be honest. And then just friction fit in. Not that we need friction fit, but just like this. I want to pull up my pants so bad, but I can't. I have this piece to use, and I also have to trim off the side here, like I did with the other one. And you can see what I mean by if like some breaks off and goes through the bottom. I don't want that stuff to be in the way of the cat. I'm just gonna rip up these bits and kind of like put them in between. I'm not really forcing anything. See, like here's a hole. Alright, so one sheet does 2 squares. So I just need to bring 3 more in. Honestly, I'm not sure if I should or shouldn't just use an extra one and fill it in. I mean, you know, I have the piece. I have extra pieces. So yeah, this looks definitely better than it was before. And as you can see here, all the scrap is, look how much is actually filling up a whole square slot. So I just put the OSB down. I didn't screw it or nothing. And there is definitely like extra OSB space here. That is intentional. That's just in case, you know, I don't want to cut under. I want to cut over. And then I'll be able to trim it off, whether it be with the hand saw or just with the same old circle saw there. Dust will be annoying, yeah, but I got a vacuum. Oh man, this feels so cool when you're able to do this. It's like, hey, I did this. I built something I could stand on or sit on. I'm assuming this one goes over here like this. Yes. If not, then I gotta flip it. Nah, this doesn't look good. Yeah, this ain't the right direction. It's a good thing they're 2 different colors. But either way, they still work out perfect. And they're both, you know, right on. By the way, the reason why I put these cuts over here on this side is because this is the back. No one's gonna step there. And if, you know, something does step on there or whatever, it might crack. I don't think it'll crack. There's nothing wrong with it. But I just want to put the bigger piece right here where, you know, people are walking in and has a lot of weight to travel. Time for one of those it's permanent moments. And that's going to be taking the caulking or the adhesive, whatever the shit this is, construction adhesive. But this stuff is going everywhere. All these pieces, not on the insulation obviously. And then once they're all in, I'm going to just straight up, bam, drop it in. Hopefully it goes in place where I drop it. If not, just nudge it. And then I'm going to start screwing it down. That's the part. Cool. Now I'm gonna have to just slam it down and start screwing. And here's up with that line there. You see it? All right, cool. And then just drop it on this side. Ready? 1, 2, drop. Well, that did not go right. Cover. Get out! Go! My hands are covered. Get out! 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 I gotta wash my hands. Fortunately, that didn't go as I planned. Not sure if he just kept holding it and then let go and it kind of tilted his way. But either way, it's on there. I gotta apply some to step on it. And then I'm gonna just screw it in. So as you can see here, I got red lines across. That's pretty much the range of the screw that I have to go through. Rhymes. That's the damn joist. So just imagine this just along the whole corner border. Okay, so here's the emergency type of clip. I already glued this thing down. I screwed it around here, but I saw as soon as I done this, I put my force and you can see that it's, you know, pushing in. Meaning if someone puts a lot of force in there, it's a crack. Like I said, this was a back. It wasn't that much of a attention to me. And plus the wall's gonna come in, but I still want to make it as best as I could while I can. And not, you know, force something accidentally breaks and then you got air everywhere. So, I gotta remove this now, hopefully. The glue, okay, cool, the glue is good. And I'm just gonna try and put this as nice as I could right here. And what I have to do is pretty much take this wood, cut it to size, screw it in like a blocking, and do the same thing on the other side quick. Alright, so it looks like I was able to do this quick enough because it was still pasty. I still reapplied, and that ended the cartridge, so that's kind of like perfect. But as you can see, right in there, you can see that little wood. I added 2 more blockings, in this case, to kind of emulate the joist, like a joint, like this shit. So it has more support here, so now when you step on it, there's no like bounce, especially once it gets screwed in. As you can see, I am stepping in the middle here, and nothing is snapping or breaking. I do feel like a slight small bend. But those studs are holding it good, so if anything. Yeah, you may notice here that this side is not exactly there, which is totally cool. It's all good. It's, this side, as long as it's covering over, I'm good. I don't know what went wrong, but you can see there's a huge joint, finger joint space there. I don't think that would have made a difference. Got a subfloor. I just gotta broom it off, vacuum the place again for all that stupid dust stuff. My cats could come back in. And then I'll have to run the saw, which, yeah, I'd rather just use a saw and vacuum at the same time than hand saw it. If I do hand saw it, I mean, it's possible. That's all I can say. And I did use out all those screws that I showed you there, the 1 pound screws. We got ourselves a subfloor. I put the floor, it's all together. And I had shaved off the edges, so it's like right up there with this piece of wood here. If it's like just a little bit out, just like, like barely 1/8 of an inch out, that's alright because the drywall is going to touch the floor if, I'm not mistaken there. If not the floor, then just like barely a piece off. But yeah. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you could. So on this side, I kind of screwed up. I was doing the trimming. This was the bigger side. So I said, you know what, let me try using the circle saw. And it did good up to a point where I started seeing flash, like sparks. And I was like, oh shit, I'm cutting straight into the metal, the screws. So I was kind of panicking there about that. Ugh. But honestly, I don't think it's a problem. It's still reinforced, it's held down by everything. And it has other screws. Maybe I could put another one if I feel like scared about it. Or maybe it was just one of these screws. Well, I don't think it should be. Maybe this one right here. Yeah, actually it was just this one by a hair. But yeah, the circle saw is not easy to trim off if you're like moving away. You can see you can't really exactly cut straight. So I said, you know what? F that. Took the hand saw and just went to town on all 4 sides. I did put the 4 frames and I did test it out by having my brothers help me hold it around. And it's pretty damn perfect, except for just this one, maybe. It's just like a little bit, just like a hair, like this much sticking out. But you know what? I said it's all good. I'm going to have this wall, put some rubber ISOs on this one, as well as the one on this, because I will be attaching it to the wall. At first, I didn't want to. I wanted to have a little gap, just to make like soundproofing even more reinforced in a way. There's going to be a time where, hopefully I get rich enough to get my own spot. And I don't want this to be solely just for like, audio only, I guess, purposes. So if I do leave and my brothers don't do recording, which I don't know, I think they will if they do video game stuff, my older brother, or even my younger brother, he could just sit in here, be quiet from the rest of the world, and draw on a tablet. But I have air ventilation, hopefully. I'm pretty sure I will put air vent in here. So it'd be like a good conversion, if anything. Or if all goes, I don't know, convert it to like another closet or space. So that's what I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of, you know, just, sound isolation all the way. And unfortunately, for the archives, Mega Man, once again, will be overwritten. Ain't that a bummer? What's up, my guys and girls of YouTube? So today I have some screws coming in so I could be able to put the frame through the OSB and through the floor joist. Those are going to be 3.5-inch screws. So we got enough to spread around this wall itself, and I don't really need to cover everything. Just as long as we get some good base points onto the wall, I have to attach it to the wall. So there is going to be one piece of wood that goes along the stud line, which I marked right here. Actually, my cousin helped me out. He told me that I should do this, and he marked it out here. That piece as well will have an isolator clip attached to it. The other two walls are not going to be touching the wall. It's going to be on the floor joist and attached to these walls, so we don't have to put isolator clips there, because, you know, we're not touching any ground. Alright guys, so I am here with these screws that came from Amazon. Hit your boy up, and I had to charge my battery, of course. So what I have to do now is shift all these walls back. I'll shift them so I can see the subflooring. I'll remove some screws from the subfloor where the joists connect. That way I can get some better, or empty up some space for the screws to go in. Drill right in. Alright, so that's one. Oh wow, there was no screw there, so that's cool. And I'm gonna make sure I get a flush corner over there, because this is the spot that, you know, will deal with the drywall. So if I, you know, stick it out over here, then that's an issue with the drywall. I mean, not that bad of an issue, but still, you know, rather annoying. Alright, we are definitely good. Alright, so in order for me to put these screws in, I'm going to do the same pre-drilling, which is going backwards and then forwards. Right here. So that's a pre-drill right there. And just make sure this wall is right again, because I did just move it. And we're good. Officially attaching the wall to the floor. Congratulations, we got a wall. Well, you know, one piece of it. Oh, it's scary. Wow, I feel like it goes in easier with this. Alright, so this side went in good. It was just that last screw that I put in kind of like was hard to put in. I'm guessing it tried to collide with another screw. So I reversed it out a bit, pushed it with my hand or my finger while I screw or hammer, you know, like just force it to a different direction. And it did give me a little bit more of that pressure, but I just squeezed and it, you know, eventually went in. Not sure if I just bent the screw on the bottom or whatever, but all I know is that it's in there. Alright, so for this side, I am gonna just screw it straight down for now. I will screw into the walls afterwards. Now before I continue, I just want to push this on the wall one more time. Make sure that's on the wall. Oh, this was pulling it back some. Hold on. That's weird. I didn't want it to like go in that way. Must be because of the direction of the screw. So let me actually screw it outward. Alright. I'll figure it out. I'm just going to screw in the middle one straight down first. There we go, we're good. So this middle one is kind of wobbly because we only got screws in the back and I don't have any joists to work with except for attaching it to this in the corner. as well as over here in this one spot. So I'm gonna do that right now actually. Alright. And yeah, we still don't got a good support system there. Everything will be good once I attach it to this wall here though. Alright, so what I am gonna do is just put one screw up in here for the moment. And I will just pre-drill this and then feel it flush and screw in. Okay. Alright, we got contact. All the walls built and attached. I only put one screw at the top in these corners to hold these things in spot right now. I will be putting more in after, which you'll see. But this is the wall here. This is the door side. What I have to do is take this piece of wood and create a literal corner. We're gonna be able to put the drywall here nicely, so we won't have to put drywall just here and then there's no like edge here to put something. As well as to give more support for these two corner frames to be stitched together. So I'm gonna put a screw through here. So it's gonna go through here and through here. And then there's gonna be the actual frame here. So this here connected on this side. So we have a corner to hold this whole thing together even more. Oh, this is the wood that's kind of giving me an issue right here. I don't know if you can see, but there's two studs here, so I'm not able to just drill straight in. So I had to go up there and drill one from an angle. I'm not sure if I showed you this, but you can see that the wood did split when I screwed it in at an angle. Not that bad of an issue though, thankfully. So what I want to do is try using this pocket jig to drill a hole like this, go into the wall. So you can see here, let me kind of give you a visual of this. So here's the visual. It'll drill diagonally through this piece. It won't go all the way through it though, but it won't go all the way in. It's like halfway, so that way I can connect. Oopsies. Did that pretty well. Nice. So as I said before, we gotta put these studs in the corner for better support and to create a corner. Here we go. And then I'll just drill in. Good. And best of all, it was used with the scrap remaining wood. I didn't have to get new studs and build them just like this, right? The next or last thing I'll have to do in this video is actually put on a double plate. This means pretty much another stud at top. The only difference between this is that it's gonna overlap the corner frame that we added. So this piece will be longer and it's gonna add even more strength to the whole build. And I'm just gonna do this with all of them, so yeah, I don't even know why I'm recording this. Al is actually in the middle of screwing the one in the back there. I don't know. Yeah, you can see it right here. But this is the wood. I had to unscrew these pieces because I totally forgot about the whole attaching this thing to the wall. So yeah. So I got a pin right here. Yeah, you can see it like that. I'm using a needle and I'm knocking and I'm looking for a stud. So I found a stud here and I'm gonna attach it to the wall like this. But it will have the rubbers on it, so it'll be just off on like there, like that. Okay, well, I found the stud for this part, as you could probably see right here. I have this wood here, but I had to drill at an angle so it could go into this part here. And I haven't even actually looked. Yeah, I can see it there. Yeah, it did go in. So the stud is actually right behind this beam of all places. I did put the crowning, the top plate, whatever you want to call it, on top. And I did mount these two pieces. So this thing is actually unmovable now. I'm trying my hard to like push and pull, but it is not moving at all. Alright guys, we are back. So I got a few things here that I bought, and there's a couple more things outside that I should show you. But first I bought a 3M, this is a sanding sponge. I bought some poly tape, I forgot what it's called, stucco tape adhesive. This is for joints in the drywall, it's called paper tape. I also have compound joint and drywall. Before we even get to try to bring this drywall in, I actually have to complete the top here. How the hell is drywall gonna stick to the ceiling? How is it gonna do it? You know, are you just gonna put 2 panels up top and just hope nobody just jumps in there with their fat ass and fall right through? Ain't gonna work out nicely. I got to make a border around here. So like how we did in the last video with the corners, we have something to screw the drywall in, as well as have a few beams. So how do I create a spot for drywall like a corner? Think of this. This is the ceiling. You're looking at the ceiling here, just like that. Alright guys, I kind of came to the conclusion that it'll be stupid if I were to just make a frame in the frame and then just slip it in. Might as well just do it simply, easily, and just put pieces. It doesn't even have to be a complete frame because each of these sides are going to be attached to all 4 of the walls, so why even bother making a frame and then attaching the whole frame on, you know, together, and then, you know, it sounds like just a big hassle. And one thing you should know, like I just said, it doesn't matter if it's complete. So there is a small little gap here, but it's not going to be a problem. Guess what? Insulation is going to fill it. There we go, we're solid. I'm going to go ahead and put another screw in right here. Drill a small bit. Then I'm going to reverse. Screw in. Took my time on that just to make it nice. Oh, I just noticed I screwed right near another screw. There we go. Alright guys, so I got the pieces on all 4 sides of the walls. Could you see it nicely? So we are set. The next thing I gotta do is put 2 beams. So I calculated, but after I did some equal measurements, it was 14 and a half, 15 in the middle, and then another 14 and a half is what I spaced it out to be. Now from here to the other side, it's actually 48 inches. I only got 1 piece of wood that's 49 inches, and then I got 4 extra long studs, so it looks like I'm gonna have to cut into one of them, unfortunately. Apparently one of these are kind of warped, but it's all good. I'm actually gonna be using a screw that I haven't used at all, which is this screw right here. I think this is 2.5. So this was part of that rig, or the jig screw case. But you know what? Since I got it, I might as well use it. So I'm gonna do this for y'all on video just to show you how the screw will work out. But you can see the grip that it has right here. That's gonna hold on. Definitely gonna hold on to this wall. So you can see that there. Perfect opportunity. Alright guys and girls, as you can see right here, this thing can hold me and I'm like 250, so it's definitely going to be able to hold drywall or anything that hangs on here. I think we're done with using all the screws for wood. We're done with the studs and everything. All we got to do is just finish this thing up, which is the drywall, the insulation, the vapor barrier, the drywall again, test it out. Oh yeah, the door obviously, and then see if I need to double drywall this thing. Put down some stuff down there, ventilation. I know it sounds like a lot, but I don't think it's too much. So we're gonna go ahead and cut 2 pieces of drywall. I think 2 pieces, because this is, I believe this is a 58 by 58 now. Never hurts to double check. By the way, we got some 58 foot action. As you may know, one side is 4 foot, so that's 12, 24, 36, 48. So yeah, we don't have 60. So we are gonna need at least 2 panel cuttings to put on here. The panels are gonna go that way because these are this way. It'll have better grip on the ceiling. So by doing it that way, we'll be able to butt up the corners and whatnot. I got 15 pieces of drywall here, and they're all 5/8 of an inch, which is the heaviest or the thickest available. And the reason why I need this is for soundproofing. So I have a mark in here. This is for 58 because that's the, well actually 57 is the long, but I'm adding an inch just to be safe. The reason why I'm just gonna cut straight down instead of doing half and half, which is 29 and 29, is Pretty much because this is just one whole piece. Why not? So I got my razor blade. I got the T-square, by the way. I don't know if I showed you or told you about that. I'm just going to go ahead and cut along this edge. Just the paper. Just like this. Straight down. And I'm not straight. I didn't make a straight cut there, but that's okay. I'll trim it off afterwards. That aside. Maybe I should just do another pass through with the knife. Maybe I didn't go too deep. Alright, I can see dust coming out, so that should be good. Okay, I can see the line here. There it is. I promise you I'll get used to this by like the second. Of course, why not make life awkward for me? Alright guys, that was a little embarrassing to say the least, but give me a break please. That was my first cut. That was just my first cut, man. Pretty good. I don't think I need to like sand it down or whatever, but I see it, so I might as well do it. Just gonna do this. There was nothing wrong with it. It looked clean. I still did it anyways. Bringing this in is like not for possibly the hard part. Bringing this thing up and putting it on there. Oh man, I'm getting dust on my computer. Push, 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 Justin, push. You could do this. It'll be easier if you got on the ladder. Mama say, mama saw. Whew. I wish I could be able to screw this now, but I don't know how. I'm able to put my hand all the way to the back. So that's the good part about having this thing half. So yeah, I think I gotta screw this in now. So I'm gonna do that. So you can see I screwed it down. I put 4 screws on the edges and then just 3 in between here. It should be, I think, 16 inches apart. And then these sides should be at least 8. I think I guessed it about right. As you can see, I put the second layer up there and we are good. Those only 2 screws that I kind of screwed up. I drilled a little bit too deep and you can see the panel lifted up. So what I did was just take another screw a little bit next to it, not too close, but next to it, drilled it in and it's holding it in place. So I pretty much put that up in there. They're good. I don't think I have to do a double layering of that, but if I do, then maybe I could do that, like patch it over, whatever it may be. That way it'll be just like this here. You can see it's overlapping. So anything that's overlapping on this side, once I put the piece of drywall here, which is gonna be a thin one, I'll be able to cut the excess there and then I'll have a good, like a good corner for it. So let me go ahead and cut 2 59s. By the way, it's not gonna be full 8 feet because 8 feet is higher than this. So I will have to trim that next one down by the difference. I don't know how well you can see this, but the floor joist is not sitting flush with this frame. So I'm not able to put this board all the way down. So what I did is take 3 pieces of these woods and I actually am gonna just put it along the wall, meaning there won't be any drywall on the joist, the floor joist itself. Maybe I could put like a trim or something cool there. I don't want this to touch the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Oh shit, this is touching the wall. What the hell? I just noticed this thing is touching the wall in the corner over here. That's gonna be one hell of a work. Oh, speaking of one hell of a work, I didn't show you, but I had to add some things up here, and that's not the easiest thing to do. That's ridiculous. And you can see how bad the wall is and squared. But still, that's so weird, man. So I gotta figure out what to do with this real quick. Fortunately, there's not much I could do about that corner there. However, if it does hit, if you do feel a rumble, which I highly doubt there's going to be much of a rumble over here in Florida anyways, but if there is some sort of rumble, these ISO clips will be able to absorb that shock. So what I want to do is just put this up here in this corner and screw it in. This thing apparently is not leveled. Like if I put it right here like this, it's not in the middle. And I want this straight, so the next side that's factory straight is going to be able to work nicely there. I don't think I need it too hard there. Just as long as it's holding it so I don't have to let go and it fall on me. So I want to lift this up so it's level. There it is. contact. And we are leveled. I actually want to be careful when I'm screwing these, because if I screw in too deep, it will make like some pop, snapple, crack sounds, and it kind of, you can see the board coming out, like the dust can't take it. If I have to like go a little bit deeper, I can always do it afterwards. And in the case if it does go too deep, then not that bad of an issue. I could just screw another hole in there. So bracing it, and when I brace it, it is flush with this wall. Not an issue at all there. They are all in. Some of them are just not straight. Like this one here that I eyeballed. That's why I drew the line. So you can see, even though this is actually good on this side. Yeah, it's good on that side. It's still in the stud, thankfully. But yeah, we got our first side up. That's cool. 36. Let's see, let me just do this right. 36 and a quarter. Let me just see if that's kind of true throughout. Otherwise I'll be sad. Oh yeah, that is sad. It's pretty sad. This side is 37. Things are never square. Good, we're still good there. 36 and a quarter. And 36 and a little bit more than a quarter. So what we have to do is take the smallest part, which for some reason is these two areas, and we're gonna base the whole board off of that. Pun intended. It'll still be covered by the top, so we'll still have a good seal, but we can always run the joint compound throughout and just fill it up. Alright guys, I cut off the electrics and just test both of them. So this circuit is off, so I am able to just unscrew this, and hopefully I got this in the right direction. No, I don't. So I'm just gonna unscrew this piece and hopefully see this wire if it's long enough to come out here. And let's hope that this thing could stretch. It does. It works. Barely. Alright, well that's it's a good and a bad day. You can see that we are able to put it just about to the edge there. I guess put it back in there for now, because I need to buy a junction box to attach it. So I just got to do this door piece now, and technically we'll have all of the outer walls created. There's something else I want to do in here. As you may remember, there is a gap here, about a ½ of an inch gap, because of rubbers. I do want to have the insulation like not chance it, not break out and fly out. There is a gap through the drywall, so I do want to take some plastic and just staple it inside as best as I could, so that way no insulation could get out. Similar to what I did down there with the cloth, but with plastic, because I found a bag in my garage. Voila. There. And this is actually a good example that I want to show you. When it comes to these type of pieces, look, I have a good amount, but not enough. That's totally fine. As long as I, cover that spot, I'm gonna just cut out the insulation, the little piece that needs to be cut out. I'm not gonna force anything in there. Alright, so here you guys can see what I'm trying to talk about here. I got the plastic on the wall, and I just stapled it all around for this side. And you can see I put in the first insulation there. I just had to make sure it's all wrapped around, and it fits good. I had to do the cuts, and you can see right there I put the rest of that insulation there, and then a little bit in this corner over here. I didn't fill it up, but just trying to use it. So now that I have the insulation in here, technically I could just take it out and wait until no more kitties in this room until this booth is complete, or at least the walls are plugged up. Alright, I'm just gonna screw it in wherever I think. And I missed. The first time I missed on the drywall. Come on, buddy. I'm trying to save money. Alright, so here it is. Unfortunately, it kind of like made a mess on the ground in this corner here. You can see the paper tore. However, I think it's okay. Push come shove. Nah, it should be good. Shouldn't be an issue to me, at least. And I'm inside here, and wow, it's really quiet. There's a guy cutting his grass outside right now, and you can hear it when we stepped out just now when we're outside. In here, it is definitely damp. It's not gone because, big opening. Why not? In the next video, we're gonna have to deal with the electric outlet, which is over there in the corner. Actually, I got some stuff that I have to show you because I bought more things. I have to put on the vapor barrier that I got. I have to put on the drywall and much more. I got more items for y'all to show y'all. So first of all, we need ducting or air flow in there before I die of was it carbon dioxide or monoxide or some shit like that? Well, we got a fan here and I have another one coming tonight. This one comes with the control box. I bought some, I think they call it reciprocals. I call them duplex outlets, and it comes with the wall plates. I also have the gang. I got the gang, as you can see right here. I'm too lazy to move right now, but you can see right there on the wall, 6 milliliters of plastic sheeting. I was supposed to have this since a long time, but Home Depot F'd me over. I also have this thing here called green glue. This is a acoustic sealant. Noise-proofing sealant, they call it. I ain't spending no damn $25 for a damn caulking gun. Although I may have to because I still need to get the green glue if I want to double layer. I got a extension cable coming in. I have a long headphone connector coming in. Yeah, so I think that's all. If anything, I'll mention it later. I got to take the rest of the battering, putting it up. I have to apply the vapor barrier. I have to put in the electric box, actually. I gotta do that first. Alright guys, I cut all the bullshit, and there's probably gonna still be a lot more bullshit, but here's the thing, okay? The power is off, the outage for this. Of course, it has to be off if I want to play with electric. Never want to do this live unless you're a fucking professional idiot. We don't have enough wire, man. It's just very hard of a stretch for me to do this, so what I am gonna do is try my best to actually put this outlet in here, and you can't even slide it out, so I'm gonna have to be extra careful. But I want to put this in there and see if I could plug this in there in this box. There we go. This is gonna be one hell of a job, and if I could pull this off, I'm gonna be a legend. Alright, so this is definitely gonna be a super tight and very uncomfortable fitting. But when I do this, I want to see God in the comment section below. I don't have any wire nuts, so I best not turn on electric until I have this completed. Next, I have to do installation, right? This is probably one of the more intensive thinking parts, like how the hell do I set this up? So this is a control panel for the fans, right? So right now it has one fan port. I have another fan port here in the back too. One is going to be for the air coming in, which will be on the bottom floor, right? So that'll be on the bottom. And the next one will be the air going out. So that's going to be more than likely the ceiling. But what I am most concerned about is the length of this cable is only like 6 feet, right? And I have to have it at a good point where one fan will be able to connect nicely. Preferably just drill a hole and then route it down there, and the next one could attach as well. I do have a 10-foot USB cable just in case, but I don't know if I don't need to use it, which I hope I won't need to use it. I could probably use it as extra credit and attach like a webcam in there so I could see whoever's inside this room. I'm pretty sure that the outside electric won't be an issue. If anything, push come shove, I could attach it to like a cable strip or something, but I do have, you know, enough weight to bring a electric box there. So here's a fan to electric distance. You can see this is going to be a big wire. Look, I got this right down there, and I'll have enough room to actually put it up here at most, around the same distance as the other one, as this one down here. So I will more than likely have enough leverage. You can see this is where the panel piece will be. Oh yeah, I definitely got enough room to either put it here or even out here in this spot, which I feel like would be a cooler option, pun intended, to have it push air out from the back here. That would be cool. The only issue I'm thinking is when I push air up, that fan is pushing air down. So will I have enough way of a fan? Would I have a fan wire there or something? Could you see it? Yeah, you could see it a little bit. With that plastic frame, I kind of eyeballed and drew something here. I kept it kind of like touching here and here because I used a level meter and they were like on level, especially this piece. You got to make sure that's leveled. So what I want to do is kind of like do a rough carving around it. Not exactly there, but like a little bit under it if I can. Could you see that? And I just want to cut some edges out of it. And then kind of like drill a hole to get some corners so I could kind of do an estimate cut on the outside as well, and then hopefully I could punch this thing out nicely. So all I have to do now with these holes is just line them up and cut them. Estimate. I don't want to line these up. Repeat. Oh fuck, I went a little out there. And I do have the line cuts touching over here as well. And then try to give it a punch. Doesn't seem to work that way. About over here. Ow! You can see it is starting to move. There we go. And I want to move quick with this, if I could. There we go. Oh! There we go. And the same thing should probably happen here too, right? Next, I gotta just fine tune this hole to fit the fan. Alright, I know there's some cheesy looking light, but I hope it does well. You can see I have the plate in there. It's kind of like stiff in there. I don't even have screws in it yet. And I will have to figure out how to like screw it into the wall. If the screws from the, to the drywall will be good enough alone, or if I have to like apply like maybe like a acoustic seal or something. You can see down here the edges, it's perfectly fit, so I don't think drywall dust will be like spraying out or any vibrations will screw up this thing. It's good. And as you can see down here, we have the control panel, or the control piece or whatever. I had it right here in this position, but it looks like we have enough room to actually bring this higher if we need to. This fan is not going to interfere and push back down or whatever. It's actually going to turbine or push down like that, which is kind of destroying the heat in the room that's being pushed out, because the air, again, when it goes down, it becomes cooler. So here's the hole inside the bottom side, and as you can see, it is definitely bigger than this piece of plastic. Remember, this is the outside, so that's going to be the butt side of the fan, so I kind of want a bigger space for the air to intake and take in. One thing I will have to do on this side, regardless of whether it's going to reach or touch that plate or not, is put a stud piece here, so we can have, that spot that kind of just isolates the air intake from the actual insulation. Alright, so as you can see here, I put a wood, and I did make sure to level it both on the tilt and its left and right, so that way it is perfectly leveled with the level meter, or at least a tool. The only thing I have to do now is set up the wiring for this. So for this, I believe I'm gonna have to cut just a notch out instead of cutting a hole through the stud, because if I were to use something like this, a USB is not gonna be able to fit through that. But what will be this wiring thickness right here. It'll be just a little bit shorter than that, but it's good. I'm gonna have to make the wire notch over here. Have a notch here, because this will be the ceiling drywall, and there's already a passageway here. So what I could do is, like I said just now, make a notch, have it go through, straight to the box for the connector. I do have to drill a hole out somewhere around here. I will figure that out afterwards. But on this side, I'll have to make two notches depending on where the port is. I'm gonna have to notch one out over here so the USB wire could go straight down, and then I'll have to notch another piece right here. But after that, then we can finally do the drywall. I'll be able to cut out this hole, do the wiring. Yeah. Alright guys, check this out. I know you are possibly excited for this, but I have done most of the walls on these three. I didn't do the ceiling yet. That's going to be the first one I'm going to do. And I haven't done this, so unfortunately it looks like I will have to be buying one whole bag for possibly this wall alone. Hopefully I could do the whole ceiling with the pieces I have left. I have this piece here and then 3 more sheets. I said that this thing will friction fit. But even though I tried it, it still fell down and hit me in the face. So what I have here, by the way, do you guys and girls enjoy the quietness in here? Or the sound deadening compared to this? Yeah. That's so crazy. This almost touches the end here. It's just like, like a whole inch left. You could kind of see it there. There you go. Just an inch left. The good news is that I gotta go get my glasses, and that's next to Home Depot, so be able to cap one more bag pretty soon. So based on that, I will have to cut like an inch more on 2 more sides here. All right, I know this looks confusing and weird, but trust me, I popped a hole in the back for one left and right in the back there. Not exactly at the end yet, but one in the back. And then for the part that I already have the insulation in, I put staples throughout those 2 sections, or 2 studs up there. I ripped it a little bit. Gonna be able to slide in there nice and easy. I'm gonna snug it in here, like this. Alright, and then with that last piece that I kind of ripped out, my bad. I'm sorry, I shinned. There it is. No, you can't see it. But the reason why I didn't put it on the stud, the staple yet, is because I have that noise-proofing sealant that I'll like to run along the edge there, and then I'll staple it in for good measure. These spots that have the wire stapled down, by the way, I think I mentioned it. It works out nice. Everything's good. I'm gonna just put regular caulking here, and this is just safety in my case. Perfect. Of course, I got a little bubble here, don't I? There's that. You can see I got the space here to put the sealant on the stud. There you go. Put a little bit around there, and we'll take this right here. We'll accept this right here. Cool. Alright, I hope you don't mind seeing me like this because it's hot in here, first of all. Second of all, I'm going to be dealing with the green glue, and apparently they gave me a rag to take off some of this stuff if it gets on you, so I'm not going to use a shirt, dude. So, I got to pop this open because I do want to seal up the ceiling or the top of the corners here just to be safe. I mean, there is still a spot there. I don't even know how the hell that's going to do. Maybe I'll put some tape on the other side, but I just want to have the seal in place and then staple the rest so I could go ahead and vapor barrier these walls. And my last goal is to at least put a drywall on one half where the electric is so I could deal with that. Damn it, dude. This is hard to deal with. It's not even touching, dude. That's annoying. Maybe I should just put it in a little bowl and then use my finger to smudge it in there. Now we're working with sealant. But did a really good job, and I'm not even able to get a grip on it. So as you could possibly see, I taped the shit out of this wall here. That is just for this side here with the electric in there. I can't put drywall up on the ceiling yet. That'll have to be in the next video once I do get the insulation for the other walls. And the reason why is because I need to put the vapor barrier, and before I put the vapor barrier I gotta make sure this insulation is complete. And once I get the insulation and the vapor barrier nice, I'll be able to create that seal or the corner there and then tape everything, and I mean everything, up on these corners. I'm gonna be doing just the bottom piece of this wall, and this is about 51, or let's see, yeah, the wall is about 51, so I'm gonna do 50 and a half. So I'm gonna do 50 and a half because they say give it a 1/4 inch on each side. So 50 and a half, and then I will be putting about 1/2 inch above this vapor corner of the bottom. That's it. They said to give it 1/2 inch off. So yeah, 50 and a half I gotta cut out for drywall, and then I'll be back and put that in. And actually I got to measure this piece here. Alright, this isn't too bad because I could literally just stick my finger and feel around, and wow, it's like I'm right at the top already of this socket. So I'm so glad I didn't cut out more than I thought I would have. There's a lot of area down here. So what I am gonna do is just, I don't even know if this is gonna work. Let me go ahead and vacuum what I have here and just kind of run a test on this. If I had drywall here and I didn't cut it out, I would have been able to just screw it into the drywall. But then again, it probably won't give me a lot of nice force, so. This is so annoying, dude. I'm not gonna go into detail on how I got this to work out, because as you can see, it's still wobbly as such. All you need to know is that it works, okay? So as you can see, I taped the living shit in here. I finished all the wall, all the vaporing. I ran out of tape, so I had to get a little desperate here in this corner, or frugal. As for the ports for the wires, we have the thermal probe, we got the AC, and then the two fans. I have them through a little slit here, and the temperature probe is actually in the wall. I ran out of tape, so I might just borrow a piece here if I have to, and then when I get to the drywall section, I'm gonna just drill a hole. I'm gonna use that hole as my spot to poke this out. Just take a pencil or something and just poke it, and then get that out. But yeah, I taped every corner. I sealed every part of the floor with the vapor barrier with that green glue sealant. So we should be good, or at least safe as at most. You can see I left the vapor here. I'll have to deal with that tomorrow as well. And same thing there. Oh yeah, I forgot to screw in those corners over here. And as you can probably tell, yeah, I did go to Home Depot. It's like days later. What's up, guys and girls of YouTube? Justin Omoe here. Got some more things that I want to show you that I had to buy. I bought one more pound of drywall screws. Hopefully it's going to be the last pound of drywall screws. Door hinges. I bought a chisel. I got a putty knife here. Clean one. I also bought a monitor screen mount to, hang a monitor screen. And I think the last thing is I don't know if I showed you on the last video or not, but the actual door itself is bigger than what I have in my, door space. Yeah. Oh yeah, I also bought door jamb panels too. Yeah, we got about 51 there. So I'm gonna have to do 50 3/4 of a cut. And on this side we have, we got 51 over here as well. So that's not gonna work out for us with the drywall, because remember it's 8x4 and 4 times 12 is 48. So we have two numbers bigger than 48, so we do have to do half and half cuts. I'm gonna just try and lift it into place just to look and see if it looks nice, it feels nice. I'm gonna put the factory feathered edge on the inside. So it looks like the tape is giving some resistance, and I don't like that. And I did make it. No, I'm good. I didn't make a mistake. But it looks like it is covering and holding in place. So that is cool. It's not really giving me much of a issue, except for over here, but I think I could just screw it into place and it'll hold. So when I was putting it up, yeah, you can see it over there. This side cracked. It's not straight in there. So how am I gonna fix this? Hopefully with myself. Well, we do know the screws go in nicely. These corners are issues. Oh, this side just got a hole straight through it. Mistakes are made. You can see here, there's an opening. Same over here. Why don't you just make it a whole thing while you're at it? Okay, well, I did my best here that I could. I just took a new piece and stapled over it. I don't have any more poly tape. Maybe I could find something, or maybe I could just put that acoustic sealant in there before I tackle this spot again, because it's, better than tape in my opinion. So, yeah. And I don't really got a pair of hands to help me out here. My brother is in school. I tried, and just that hassle and quickness led to the destruction of that piece. The good news is, I can still do the bottom halves first, starting with this side. And look, we got a contender right here to use for that side. So, guess what I'm gonna do? So it looks like we did salvage this piece after all. I want to grab onto the drywall, but if I pull it, I'm just gonna be light with this. There we go. So check that out. Just got to do a little bit of cleaning up here. I'm actually going to play it safe and draw lines. Oh, what the hell? Not entirely. Ah, fuck, that hurts. I apparently did not hit a stud there, but this is a straight line. Is it not? Can't even fight it. I don't even think we need a vapor barrier anyway, so. Not like it justifies it, but. Oh, yeah, it actually may have been like a centimeter off. Alright, so I'm at the point where I have to cut this out now. I gotta do two things. I gotta measure out here, and then I gotta trace the stencil, then I gotta cut it. So that was the two things. Gotta make sure it's level too. Around here where it says 6, but remember I'm gonna have to have a half an inch up there because of that little piece there. So I'm gonna have to go half an inch up like this. So 6.5 is where I am gonna puncture a cut or puncture a line. Let me go ahead and put a line here real quick. Now I gotta see how much left to right. So based on the T-square, it says about 5. So pretty much where the number 1 is over here. I just gotta butt the ends. And 5 inches over. So the number 1 here. Like that. And now I have to just get a straight line. And I'm gonna do the same method that I did with the other fans. Which is to cut it, see if it fits nice. And once it does fit nice, then I'll just line it up here, attach it, and then screw it in. That's one. Alright, so I scraped the whole fitting. Sadly though, when I friction fitted it in nice, I used a level tool and it wasn't leveled. So I had to do a little bit more slack over here and up here. So that way I have like a little tilt so I could be able to balance it out nicely when I, am ready to put it back on there. And then I will be able to tape it on, then drill the little screw holes, and we should be all good. I screwed in this side. I'm not sure if I showed all this, but I screwed in this side and you can see that this thing kind of sticks out a little more, which is actually a good thing because I thought it was sticking out a little bit, and that's why I added some like drywall crap in the back. You can see right there. So I might have an even better content fit there. I'm not sure. I gotta double check on that. But here I did the strip on this side. It was weird trying to cut this piece because the first time I tried it, the whole thing like snapped, like piece by piece by piece. So I got pissed. I did another cut, and this one was almost good. It was so much perfect, and I had to just go, like soft on, like a little bit pressure on the bottom, a little bit pressure there. Had to go real easy with it. I'm not sure what this line cut is. I don't remember me doing it, but it's not an issue. But up here, right at the end, as soon as I got to the end here, there was a piece of paper here that ripped, and you can kind of see that I put some Scotch tape over it because this tape or the paper ripped and it could easily just, but with the tape on it, you see I'm pushing there, especially with the screw too, it's not falling out. Oh yeah, the last thing I want to show you is the gaping hole in here, and just like, I don't know if you can see. There you go. I had to take 2 fingers and just like, make it look all big and shit. And that's because when I push this, when I put the touch thing in here, there's some pressure from the vapor barrier, so it's never gonna be nice. Unless, maybe if I could push and like stretch out the vapor barrier paper. So nevertheless, there is gonna be a big hole, and I feel like this vapor barrier is just bullshit at this point. As you can see over here, I put some caulk, and I was just letting my camera charge. Oh yeah, speaking of drywall, there's 2 more things I didn't point out. One, I cut the hole here. You need a hole there for the air. And I did not cut a hole here, surprisingly. I'm gonna do this after I finish out the drywall. I don't know, I gotta dry it, make sure it's leveled, and put a little bit of concentration in it. I know where to cut, and I could actually poke some holes out in there in the back if I want to for better guidance. But yeah, I want to take my time with this after everything is put in. We got the ceiling drywalls in there. I hate drywall, but I got this wall up, and I had to literally shave. You can see right, this paper right here. Pretty much I shaved throughout the whole thing. Because I thought, you know what? Maybe it's just a little part here. And then I put it back up. It's not pushing in. Oh, nope. I feel pressure here. And I had to shave for like at least 10 minutes or so. Just holding it in one spot. Shaving it. So this top corner piece of the drywall, you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but pieces came out. So I'm not going to screw over there. Otherwise it'll be a waste. I'm just going to screw a little bit under it. And the drywall mud is pretty much going to fix that up for us. Alright guys, so remember we have this probe here too. So I have to kind of like measure it and drill it out. And then put it on the wall. Poke a hole and get it out. Okay, that was by far the easiest cut I've done for this in terms of the second thing, wall. I'm very happy about that. So I'm basing off this line here that I had to mark. I'm gonna say it right about here. I'm gonna drill. There you go. I went real light. So now I have the hole here. And I don't think I punctured the vapor barrier just yet, but if I did, then even better. Yeah, I'll just take a screw and then commit a push. Cool. So it's definitely gonna leave a mark now. Perfect, just perfect. Look where it is. The probe is right here. This is where the thing is, the screw. Wow. So now you hear that sound of, you know, inside of a wall. That's cool. Reflection. So that's how it looks.
Sweet. So this is gonna be like the little recording booth, and then, dude, this is pretty cool. Yeah, hey, give me knuckles right there, man.
Oh, shoot, I left it on record.
This.
I have 2 full sheets of drywall left. But I feel like this could be done with just the remaining or the cut pieces. And I'm going to go ahead and show you all that because there's a lot, man. You could definitely see that my garage is a total mess right now. It's not meant to be clean right now at this point. And each of those cuts that I had to do had to be from a new sheet, man. It's annoying. Like, look at all these pieces that I have left. Like, big cuts. Got a lot over here. All these drywall pieces. So much. Alright, so pretty much I want to sculpt this piece first. It's going to be like up to here and touching here. And I had brought a piece in before. I'm not sure if I showed it. And I said, oh man, it didn't even fit. But this piece right here is what I'll be using. I'm going to have to do some pretty interesting cuts to get this nice. And I'm being really slow with it. Alright, so from top to the bottom was 31 and a half, I believe. I'm gonna mark out 31 and a half here with my blade. Alright. Here's the bottom, all shit ass, because the cut got f***ed up. I'm just gonna fill it up. Alright, well, everything is done. And as you can hear from the bop, 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 bop. Yeah, it's definitely walled up in here. Oh yeah, of course, I was trying my best. I was at the last stretch and this whole side just... And it's actually pretty good. It's like flush, but I don't give a shit no more if something happens. I spent the whole time carving this, kind of making it flush with this for when I put the door jamb. And I just kind of made sure that all the screws were inside, like having a dent in there. Otherwise, you know, when you put the drywall joint compound, the mud, it'll stick out. But yeah, this drywall pisses me off, dude. Alright, what's up guys and girls of YouTube? It is your boy Justin Omoe here, and we are almost there, man. We are almost at the, you know, at the golden spot, in my opinion, of finishing this crap. So before I get into this, I actually have to drill out the fan hole here, and I have to think about this a little bit more extensive than what I was doing before, because at first I was like, okay, let me just gouge a hole in the middle. But I gotta put a side of the drywall or piece for the wires that I have to hook through, the HDMI, the XLR, and the headphone jack as well as a USB cable that I got too. So I should have enough space actually when I cut this, when I do the cut, to barely have it right here. The trim is about 3 inches, and that's the length of this tape measure right here, 3 inches. So I think we should be good if we work on that. And now I have to drill holes in these corners and then make a cutout. There we go. There we go. Alright, it's starting to look there. There's definitely still some parts I have to shave here, which is around that wire area, but I don't want to do that yet. There we go. So this fits. And the moment of truth on this too. Ooh, it's almost there. 1/8 of an inch. Before I get any of this drywall to have mud on it whatsoever, I want to make sure that all these screws are good. So what I mean is, see how I'm able to do this? That means it's good. But if you hear this sound, that means I have to take the screwdriver and put it in a little bit more. There we go. Alright guys, so I got the water, I got the joint compound, and I got a bucket that I had cleaned. Oh yeah, and I have the 2 spatties. I don't have any mixer tools, I don't have a tray. I have no idea how much to measure for this shit. But all I do want to know is that it's like soft and nice and goopy, basically. Not lumpy, but nice and smooth. And lucky me, my mom had thrown away a cup. All these cups got like cracks inside of it. Alright, so I got some here. Just put 1 cup down and see how well it does with the water. There's not even a lot. And to be honest, I feel like I could do a lot more. I'm going to drop this in. Not a lot. Okay. It's actually to the tip of my spatula, which is pretty, what's the word? Convenient for me. It's about half of the spatula, which is even better. Time to do some hard labor. Good. Just gonna go ahead and mix this up. There we go. Starting to hear it. It definitely is lumpy. So lumpy. Alright, there we go. We're getting to that liquid form. I think I may have used the right amount of water, actually. Oh crap, I got on my hands. I don't have any way to get this off my hands except for this. And speaking of this, let's just put it on here real quick. Oh, it's thick. It is thick. I don't want to have any excess, but still. So this is still a little thick in my opinion. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water. I'm gonna keep spinning. I do have some scrap drywall I could try it out on. Oh yeah, this is it right here, buddies. Alright, so I'm gonna take this bucket inside with me. I only have 20 minutes to operate with this, and I have to do quick work. So I need corners. I didn't really measure the corners here, but I'm probably gonna need a lot of this, so I might as well just pull it all out one time. Alright, I think this is a good amount for now. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to do the corners first. So I'll just have to fill up the corners. It kind of gets fun once you start putting it on, so you stop worrying about the shit. You just start filling. Okay. Of course my foot is itchy at the moment. Do that. Filling up the corners, just putting on. Not putting too much. There we go. Probably don't even need this tray. Just put the whole damn bucket. Get all the crap on. Hey, you guys can't see me. I should take my pants off. Scoop, scrape, scrape. This is doing a good job scraping, by the way. This popcorn tray. Touching the corner there. This paper is actually durable. Oh yeah, I'm not pressing in. I just need to place it there. Oh man, this stuff is dry already. Alright, well, I think I did well. Not bad for a first timer. Of course, it's definitely gonna need some cleaning up, sanding. I'm gonna use the remainder of this bucket to fill in all these screw head holes, because you see how long or how fast this thing is working. So I just like that. See? And I do want to remove as much of these drywall or joint compound lines that I make here, because if we leave it, I'm gonna have to just sand it. I mean, it's not that bad of an issue to sand. Oh, 20 minutes passed. Well, I did manage to fill up a lot of these holes right here and all. You can see I missed some here. And this corner, of course, I did. It's not that bad. I could see a little bit of ripples and lines there, but a lot of it got wasted. I went outside with the bucket and filled water and left it out there. Clean my tools, obviously. So I'll see this back tomorrow and figure it out. Alright, so it's actually been like probably 2 days since I last tried or did the sanding. But my mom was like in pain and I had to attend to her all night and all that. Oh, God. But what I gotta do now is pretty much sand off these little ridges and grooves. Oh, I need headphones or something. Oh, fuck. I need like headphones or something. I'm not even lying, dude. What the fuck? Okay, obviously it's not something I can do on camera, even with one hand. So I gotta wear the little iPod earbuds and listen to something while I do that. I gotta just flatten the layers. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna actually cut all the tape so I have exact pieces and I'll have them ready, available. And then whatever I have left from that corner, I'll use to fill up any more screw holes that I see. I used 1 cup of that, the powder. I used one of those gray cups that I showed you before. And it did this whole corner. And then most of these holes, well actually all these holes that was left. I did this one, then I was like, oh wait, hold on. This is kind of like in the middle, let me leave that. So yeah, and then I totally forgot about this crack at the end. So what I'm gonna do is do like a cup and a little bit more, because I felt like I was a little constrained because I had only not that much to work with. Try and fill out this crack as much as I could, and then jump onto this corner next. Alright, so I got these 4 corners done, and it doesn't look so bad at all to me. There is some like inside groove pieces that's weird. This corner was of course hard. Well, took more time to kind of deal with. Of course I only had 20 minutes to work with. All in all, I am happy with these corners. I actually, for my knowledge, I feel like I'm good with it. And remember that big gap in the corner? I just filled it up partially. You can see there's still little crevices and spots like that. That's all good. I had to let it harden. I could kind of trim off these pieces here if I go a little bit like that, just to give a little bit more grip for the tape once I start doing the sides, which will be after I stop doing this. Time is 8 minutes, oh not bad. I got a lot more mud here, but I only got 2 minutes. Kind of goes with this right here. I won't hesitate. Okay, it's hardened. It's on that point. I do have a bit of excess, and that was totally my mistake because I put too much water in. Could you see this, guys? It's rock. No, it can't be called chunks. I did all 4 of them with this single batch. That's a accomplishment to me. I like it. There was a couple of bubbles around here. You can see I cut a little bit bigger than it was, but there was a bubble here. There was a bubble here. And there was a bubble right here. As long as I just take another layer, because you know still gotta do the second layer and all that, it will be fine. Over here, I gotta just run it down with a little bit of sanding. Did do this outside one as well. I didn't do the one up top. I'll probably do that one off camera because that's, you know, a lot. So you can kind of see how it looks before it's sanded. Sneak preview. All right, guys and girls, how are y'all doing? It is your boy. Time to do more drywall mudding. Also, I'm not using the tub here. I feel like trying just the pan. And as you see here, I have a Volcano. Some people say use hot water straight from the sink. I don't know, I read the bag and it said filtered water. So, you know, that's what I've been using. I wouldn't mind using hot water either. It'll make it quicker. Look at that. Nice and wet. Nice, moist, and good to go. Okay. I'm just gonna do it like this. There we go. Damn, I already ran out of water, you serious? Now, one thing I've been looking all over and questioning is this corner where the wall and the ceiling intersects. Yes, you do put tape over it. At least that's what I learned or I seen. And I will do. If I feel like this is not enough mud, I'll just get a little more. Nothing to it. Now I could place the tape on top. I like to fold the paper and then let it touch the corner. That's what I did in the last video. I didn't really explain it. I realized I cut this paper too short. That sucks. Which is not a bad thing. It's alright. I just overlap. Yeah, matter of fact. Let it touch. Let it flat. Let it be flat. Work to finish. This real quick. Just gonna touch up. Take my thing. Oh! Feather off the edge there. Cool. Alright. I'm gonna just be gentle there. There. What cut? Was there a cut in this drywall? I mean, this tape? I don't see a cut there. I've done the first layering of the drywall joint compound onto the cracks, or not the cracks, the lines that have to go where they have to go. But what I have to do now is put on these corner beads. Then I have to do the second and third layering. And hopefully by then we have a finished, completed drywall wall stuff, and then we'll be able to paint, which I don't have any paint and stuff right now. Pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a little bit of squeeze. I don't want necessarily a 90-degree angle. They say somewhere around 85 would be cool. It's not in place right now, but I just want to show you that we want this gap. So you see how I could put my finger and you can see under it? I don't want that big of a gap, honestly. But we want a gap here, about 1/8 or so. There you go. We want this along all sides of the wall. So on this side, on that side, up on top, on bottom. That way we have a corner that we could fill up and create with these. It's been at least a half an hour since that mix was mixed and applied. Maybe a little bit more. But as you can see, it's pretty roughed up looking. It's totally fine though, not an issue. I do feel like there was some bubbling somewhere, but I could be wrong. Oh, here you go, here you go. Maybe you can see this. Yeah, I'm able to push down and feel like a pressure of me pushing down. When I, applied it on, I put a lot of mud around there. So I don't see why there would be a bubble. Although it's not an issue, because once we do apply the second coating, we'll be able to see the bubbling over here for an example. Just cut it out with a box cutter, and then I'll fill in that gap. The corners are on, and it's starting to look, well, it's not even starting. It looks like a damn wall now. That's pretty tight. So yeah, I'm gonna let this dry. Oh yeah, and I put a patch or a tape over here. I forgot about that. I did run it down with the sanding tape as well as with an orbital sander, as you see right down there. I've been had that, so why not use it? I think I'm running out, or I'm running low on the compound joint that I have right now. So what I am gonna do is finish up in here, or at least do the second and third coating. It's just gonna be a light coating over it, and the same thing with the third. We're gonna just do a light covering over it. This is a longer blade, by the way. I'm just giving it more coverage. You could kind of see it there. That looks horrible when I put the light on it. But there's some spots that has little pocket holes, or I think they call it pocks. So you see little holes there. So what I have to do is take the mixture, go around to these small spots, and just very lightly with the skimming coat layering, fill up these little holes. So you can see here we have another hole there. And I have a little bit of red inside. This is actually from that chalk line dust. So we'll be able to see where we have applied the joint compound, and then we'll be able to sand that down easy without having to, feel up everything. And yeah. Alright, so here's a little bit of pink job. You can see the pink layers. It's better for me to visually see it on my real eyes. I don't know if you can see it that well. Actually, yeah, you can see it good. But overall, I think we're set after this. I'm not gonna give a shit after this, honestly, because I don't know, I've been on this thing since January this year. It's been 3 months. I'm gonna try and stretch this as high as I can. Could you see up there? Yeah, I only did one layer on this tape. Maybe I'll do more in the future. By the way, today is April 13th, I think. So I've been delaying this thing a while. I had my reasons, it's pretty much I had to wait for tools and then get the tools and then, clean up my whole room. Yeah, I just finished drying out most of the dust of all this stuff. I still got to do the inside the racks and those speaker stands, the closet. And I'll be straight. Oh, up there too. That thingy up there too. The TP hat. Oh yeah, and all the rest of the wall as well. Just imagine. So before I get into the paint stuff, I have to actually put some tape over this outlet. You never want any paint going inside of the outlet holes. That would be sad. But even though they're tamper resistant, this is actually a kit right here. This paint stuff. I think it was for like $12 or $15 or something. I want this primer not to be liquidy, because if it's liquidy, then it's bad. This feels consistent though. Doesn't feel like anything bougie is gonna happen. Oh hell no, I'm already screwing up. That looks like a lot. Probably is a lot. This smells like good primer, by the way. I need the inside of the brush to be good. The outside does not matter because we're gonna paint with the inside of the brush. So now I got a good case of prime. What I have to do is paint all these corners, or cut them. I'm just gonna go into the inside and cut. Just paint with the inside. See the pink? See, I'm cutting. Ideally, you wanna paint 2 brush lengths thick or outwards, like down here and all. You want 2. So pretty much down to here to all the drywall compound. Okay, I'm not sure how different of a look it looks like to y'all, but I painted all the corners. I cut the corners. Now I have to go ahead and take the roller, roll it like a good 15-20 times in there. Just got to do this. There you go, I'm finally rolling. So ideally you just want to scrape off all the liquid, and then it'll start doing the roll. For example, oh my god, I see a piece of hair on here. A little piece of hair could do a lot, All I have to do is roll. Just like that. So I'm not going to bore y'all with this. I'm just going to go ahead and do it while off camera, because it's a lot of work trying to hold this camera in one hand. God. Cha-chong! Look at it, it's a room. There is some spots that are like different shaded, but keep no worries, it's just the first coating. I think I was supposed to feather out that even more, like with a wet sponge or something. If anything, I don't even care anymore. That's just the motivation I need. Just say I don't care. I'm gonna leave it there because that could obviously be cleaned off. So I'll be back later tonight. And by tonight, I mean like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours from now. I haven't been on this for like 1 day or something because, no, 2, maybe 3. I have no idea. But I had to clean the tray. Apparently I left it to dry so I could be able to just peel it, but that's only for like latex, and this is just straight up primer. And then I put a plastic bag over it. This way, once I'm done using the tray, I'll just have to just unwind the plastic bag and I'll be set. Yeah, if it doesn't work, then I just gotta wash the tray as soon as I'm done using it. I just took the sanding sponge right here and just lightly rubbed around the wall. There's still some pieces right here that feels like a little jittery. Well, as you can see, the walls have been painted with the primer at least. And now I have, if you can see down there, the bucket that I'm gonna use, which is the so-called paint and primer that my mom bought me when I asked for the primer first. She bought that gray color. Very creative. I did the inside last night and I went a little ham. Like, not even fun, I went a little ham in the It's like a mixture between dope and awful. And I like it. I like it a lot. So pretty much you see this pattern right here, these little triangles and stuff. Illuminati. No, but I cut it off of a brush and I rolled it pretty much straight down, and it's pretty uniform, as weird as it looks. And then I mixed the gray with a little bit of black in the tray, and it came out to this minus the little white splatters. I kind of wanted to do something similar like I did in there, but out here. I know gray is so creative of a color. What's up? It's your boy Justin Omo, and today we have to deal with literally the floor. I gotta install this monitor screen mount onto the wall. There's gotta be a pin, a wood. Actually, just rubbing my fingers kind of patches up these holes. You can see wood right around the tip. Just want to show you for confirmation. Alright, that should be good there. So I just cleaned the floor and just double checked the screws to see if they're all good on the floor. Take a listen. It's like spare change. There's a lot of dust in here and paint chippings. Next, I have to put the underlayment in. I made the cut. I actually made 2 of these cuts, but I have to cut one vertically once I put this in position. And you may notice on this side, I had to cut off the film because that's what the instructions say. I got about 12.5, so I do have to cut 12 inches, aka 1 foot vertically. There you go. We'll work on this side though and go straight down. Well, I've been doing it. Our subfloor. So these are 1/4 inch spacers for the bamboos. I do have to use them as 1/2 inch, aka put 2 of them together, place them in the corner of the wall. This is for like expansion when things get hot. These woods will move. That's just the way it is. I didn't make them like that. This piece is gonna go in this way because this side has the groove. You see here, there's a groove. So it's gonna go in this way. So I don't wanna put it to the wall here or cut it here. I need to flip this over like this, right? I'm gonna place it on top, and I do need my spacer. I'm gonna put it to the wall. What I have to do now is pretty much get the mark right here. If I could see this nicely. Yeah, and I'm gonna use a straight edge. It'll be easier if you had a chop saw, but I don't have a chop saw. That's just the way it is. Well, that's what I feared. It didn't go all the way through, but I'm committed. It's accepted. is definitely acceptable. But the cool thing is that I think we're only gonna have one cut per damn row. So getting things not straight, I think is a okay thing. Here goes nothing. I'm just gonna fit it in first, just to see how it looks and feels. As long as we're around that same ballpark, I feel I'll be confident. Alright, so it does look like I cut a little bit less than the expansion. I have this glue called Eurobond D3 Floating Floor Glue. Oh, this is an interesting color. Oh, it was just in the shade. Okay, I was about to say something, but here's the glue. Here's the piece. Glued piece. I think I used a little bit too much glue, didn't I? I want to get at least 2 rows fixed. I'm just squeezing, moving. Gotta line up this piece of wood on this side. And smack it into position. Cool. Once I get the second piece in, I'll probably be better on this. For some reason my card was full. I'm not sure where I cut off last time. I think it was on this piece here, but yeah, I just did another layer, the third layering. I might have to want to remove this because there's glue in the way. Oh, I can't even remove it. It's hard. Oh, damn, this side is hard too. My bad, I got sidetracked. Anyways, apparently there's a gap here. I'm not exactly sure why. I tried banging for like a good 3-4 minutes. But to no avail. But you know what? I cannot fight. Yeah, you could definitely see that. But now I have to just take this tape over the 3, and I'm gonna leave these 3 to pretty much harden. And this is just so it doesn't move around while the piece cures. Whoop. Ah man, that feels good. In that corner, we have a small piece to fill. Interesting stuff. $19 installations. Who wants it? I really hope this bottle is enough. Take it. I'm on the last row, and check out this. Oh my god. Oh my god, look how that fits. Oh my god. And I got exactly 1 piece left over, which obviously I gotta make the cut for. Except, of course, we have this little gauge right here. I have no idea what to do there. I don't know if I could. Maybe, oh wait, no, there is no groove on this. Maybe I could find a way to just smidge it in. Like cut this teeth piece and fit it in. If not, I don't give a damn. There we go, guys and girls. We have a floor. What's up, guys and girls YouTube? It is your boy Justin Omoe. This should be the whole baseboard installation, the door jamb frame installation, the door installation. All I have to do is make my measurements, cut them up, put them around. So I'm gonna take 2/16 off of it. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the garage where I'll be making the cuts. These are the baseboards. I went as plain as I could be, so pretty much flat. Although there is a little groove here, which is not a problem when it comes to making certain type of cuts if I have to do that. But yeah, let's go ahead and just pick this one up and get the chopping. The most it could go is around 45. If I flip it upside down like this and then do my cut, that will be what I have to do actually. I'm gonna go slowly with this for sure. Okay, I made the first cut. That was actually better than I thought it would have been. Okay, so this is the 48 and the whatever. So the end of the blade has to go here. I need to keep going. I think I cut a little bit more than I needed to. Because look where that pencil mark is. I'll give it a shot. I'll check it in the room. This is on point. Oh my gosh. Whew. They gave me a second chance, guys. They gave me a second chance. Who are they? I don't know, but they did it. Yeah, I'm getting about 49.5 here. But yeah, I got this in. You notice I took out the fan. And of course, this is blocking the hole that has the, where the wires will come through. As for this side, I will just mark it, and then do a cutting on it. I might have to like cut a little bit under as well, like on the edges and stuff, because of the shape of the metal thingamajiggy. I have no idea why there's such a huge gap there. It could be glued to another cutting. Okay, so I did I cut all the frame of the molding and just put it down. The only thing that sucks is that this one is just off on it, like here. I wanted it to be on the drywall, but I don't know. I can't really cut this small of a piece accurately, apparently. And I wanted to leave it like this because this side looks so perfect. Or, you know, it looks good there. The next thing I would have to do is trace around this and then figure a way to cut this out. I got either the hex saw, whatever. I could take this right here and just drill holes everywhere until this thing comes off. Or I could use the chisel that I have bought, never opened. But pretty much take this right here, go like this, take a hammer and just bonk it down. I really don't know. I'm scared of all three options, if I'm being honest. I feel like the safer route would be drilling straight down with these bits. Like that. Let's see. I see the hole here. Go like this. There it is. Okay, I might have to drill the holes a little bigger, but I'm just gonna take the saw and that. So this is totally flush, well, almost flush with the drywall, which is pretty good. Now I gotta see how well this does. So it looks like I do need to chop back. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just stick this in right here, and I'll make two lines. It's just sliding it in. So I just have to trim this just a little bit more. Yeah, this side is going good. It fits. I even cut the circle. The hole didn't cut perfect, like in line with the next one, but you can see a big cable like this could fit through. So we're good. And because I don't have a brad nailer, and unless my cousin hits me up and comes through today or something, I'm going to be splitting these into ones and hammering them in myself. Let's go ahead and nail this thing in now. As you can see, this is a corded power nailer, brad nailer that I got from a cousin. I put the nails in. I don't know what to do, where to start. I do know that I should go onto the bottoms though. Oh shit, that's scary. Oh, well it's in there. A nail's in there, okay? I'm gonna do like this. This piece is in. All I have to do is the same thing, just go all over. Kind of fun to do this, I'm not gonna lie. I know there's another stud here for sure, because that's where the end of this thing is, so I just gotta remember where the studs are. Alright, so same story, just a different thing. Pop in this. So I'm just gonna pop it in the corners. Thankfully that didn't break the wood. Oh, that's in for sure. At this point, I'm officially done with the inside. Of course, except for that damn outlet, which, screw that outlet. Oh yeah, and I gotta screw this in. So I have 3 hinges that I have to first see where the hell I want to put it and all that. So I'm gonna just take the hinge, line it up with the edge of this jamb here, and I'm gonna mark, right? So I have to measure from the top, apparently websites say this, from the top corner to the bottom, I have to measure about 5 inches. And I'm gonna make my mark. From the bottom up, we gotta go 10 inches. As for the third hinge, that will go in the exact middle of the two that I create. Exactly 48.5 inches of a distance. So 48.5 divided by 2, it's gotta be 24.25. 24.25 is going to be the middle point of the piece. This is about 4 inches. So guess what? We gotta go 2 inches up, 2 inches down. Alright, well now that I know which side the hinge will go, I'll know at least the direction where the door stop molding will be. There is a round side and then there's a square flat side. I'm just looking at my door here. The flat side is gonna be facing me. This is not the best view for y'all, and it's not the best comfortability for me, but as you can see, this is pretty much how I'm gonna chisel this, and yeah, so just watch, I guess. Matter of fact, this is actually going way faster than I did with that one. Oh, let's see. Could you see that? That's how it looks there. And let me go ahead and just scrape it off. Oh, I hurt my finger. I scraped it. Well, look at that. That is... Oh, that feels good just to see it get erased just like that. Uh-oh. I gotta use one hand here. So I owe y'all an explanation. So, long story short, I got the door on. The door was not something I could easily do with the circle saw. I needed the help from my cousin, as well as the table saw and my cousin's skills. He said, you know what, might as well, I cut the door, I might as well install it too. He didn't have to do all that. By the way, thank you so much, my cousin. First of all, he wanted to actually break down the whole wall, or this portion of the wall, to leave the door as, you know, default as it was. And I was like, no, I can't do that. So pretty much the door had to get cut from one side. This is the compressed wood I'm talking about. It was both on the right side as well as down the bottom here. Although this piece here that I installed, whatever it is, it covers up the chipping, so I don't really got to put anything on the bottom there. I will have to put something called Bondo car filler. Pretty much a plastic overlay liquid thing, majiggy. Put it alongside, and that will help hold this in place and harden the thing down. I also do have to put the doorknob. We did have to do a little bit of shimming on this side, just to ensure that the door was actually gonna close nicely, which I don't want to close it right now. Otherwise, you know, I don't have a doorknob. So yeah, I had to do a little shimming up here as well. We had to pull out this side and get it to fit. You could probably see it. We do got nails in there. Do a lot of manipulation for it. You can see how much screws are in there. Not a problem. We drew out the hinge. Well, I did you saw I did the chisel with that one, the chisel. But with this side, my cousin did this. And it's pretty decent. It's pretty great. With the chisel, I was kind of jealous of how quick he did this thing. Probably like fill them up if I care about it later on. But yeah, let me see if I could close this. Awesome. Oh, I'm a trip. Those little lights pretty much are gonna get filled after I'm done with all of it. But that's to ensure, you know, we got that airtight seal. The only thing left that I want to do for y'all in this video series is gonna be cutting the door knob and installing it. Alright guys, I have the door hinge or the door lock kit thing on. This is set to 1 3/4. That's because that's the length of this piece here. On this side, I have this set on 2 3/8, which is pretty standard for houses, doorknob distance. You can see my nail is here. That's just about the middle of the doorknob, you can see. And I'll bring it to you. 2 3/8. Here I have the drill, and it came with the circle bit. What I have to do is just pretty much drill a hole, right? But don't go all the way through, otherwise they'll like back shoot. Y'all ever seen like a FMJ bullet go through somebody and the back side of their hole is bigger? I know some of y'all can relate. The drill bit, you see how this thing is longer? I want to go until I see this sticking out. I see it. So now I have to do is take it out and go from the other side and drill in. So what I want to do is keep this as straight as I can keep this and pretty much drill straight. Oh, look at that. Hey, what? The piece went right back in. There we go. Time to install the doorknob. You see why having the compressed wood exposed is not nice. So I already removed the door knob, the other side, because this has to go in. My next step is to take this doorknob plate, set it perfect where, you know, it's supposed to be, fill in 2 circles, and then drill. Before I tighten it in, I want to put this piece in the door latch. This has to go this way where the slide is that way, because we're closing the door. It's going to slide in. All that's left is to put back on the shuriken top, just like this, and then rotate. It's a Kamidoga. Take note that I did not screw this in, or I didn't do anything with that yet. I just want to see how it works or how it looks or feels with it if I didn't like chisel it inside or whatever it may be. And there's the doorknob right. Okay, that sounded like it. There we go. Got ourselves a doorknob. There's the second one. You can see when I push it in, it goes straight in. Next, we need to make the strike plate. The strike plate? I don't know how to call it. These things right here, basically. I need to make the box for the latch to slide into. Alright, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just close this first of all. I'm going to mark the middle. I can also do it like this, if I'm smart. I'm going to use some toothpaste, right? Put it to some better use. Rub it on this top piece right here. Close it. Let go. Turn. Just give a little smudging just in case. Yeah, you can see it right here. This is where the toothpaste ended. So I created the lines there for about where this thing would be. If I were to take the thing and just put it around there, you could kind of see. Alright, I took some measurements and then I took the template, or this piece right here, flipped it this way and then drew the holes as you see. And I kind of accurately measured it and it's just about right. Not well sure if I should just drill through the whole thing or just a bit of it or what. Just like that. And I do want to close this to see if I hear any type of click or so. So I just slide it. Not a click just yet. This is gonna take a while, so I'm gonna take my good time on it. Alright, well I carved it until it was inevitable and I had gone through. All I have to do now is put in this screw plate. Okay, should be good. And now I just gotta slowly close this door in hopes that we hear a click and, you know, it slides in. Y'all heard that, right? Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. With that close of the door, we practically finished the vocal booth. Of course, this build is not perfectly soundproof just yet because there is a door jamb that I have to seal up, as well as the fan openings. But I still want to give it a test, go inside, do some kind of like practice recording. I'm not going to record anything, but I'm going to just speak and I want to see how well it does. This is Sparta! Yo! Woo! Hey, this is a test. How y'all doing? I wonder how that'll sound. And let's just go ahead and flip the script. I'm going to go outside and do a little bit of talking now. A, B. Talking right inside of the crack of the door jam. Let me go by my chair. Yo, what is up? This is how it sounds. I'm just talking here. I'm gonna go outside of the door. Really curious to know how that works out. But alright, my guys and girls of YouTube, it took about a quarter of a year. Or was it 1/3? January, February, March, April. I'm in April. Today is April 12th. And I started somewhere around January. This could have been done a lot quicker if I had the money as well as a way to go collect the material and bring it here. Overall, I'm very happy about the way it came out. And I know that this can be translated into like something else if I do move out of this house one day, or maybe I'll just take over this house and buy my mom like a 2-story house or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But now with this box, I'm able to record and have myself in a space where I could get great quality vocals. Alright guys, I'm back, and after calculating and a little bit of peanut butter, I came up to $1,561.85 total. And if we subtract the tools like the door lock installation, let's say for example I already had this, the chisel, all of that stuff, it would have came up to $1,402.84. Thank you so much for sticking along and watching your boy throughout this whole series, and from making the framing all the way to where we are now with this booth. And yeah, it's your boy Justin Omoe. I really don't want to leave. I just want to keep talking to y'all. Peace. I'm out. Please have yourselves a damn good one.